Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the another session of Chai Chat and Community with Word Palette. Thank you, Saleji, for giving us another chance to come online and be a part of this great event today. And having a normal chai chat and is always good because we can have as a informal kind of a discussion. And today, of course, we have a very great person with us today who I don't think she need any introduction. She is a Harrison Ward councillor, Sahana Ramesh. She was elected to the council in 2020. She has been a strong advocate for caring for the environment, sustainability, diversity, inclusivity. I think coming from a different background really explains everything why we need diversity. And Australia being a multicultural environment really helps us to do it. Of course, everything, every day we learn something from the work that we are doing. So I think it really matters a lot when we meet together and have a get together and discuss something that could be so beneficial for us. So I think every day, every minute learns us, makes us learn some work. And one every single evening that I could learn something would help me to, give something next to my generation. Starting with my coming back to Chai and Chat and community, I pay respect to the past, present, and the future traditional custodians and elders of the nation and the continuation of the culture, spiritual, and the educational practices of Aboriginal and the Torres Strait Islander people, because I never want to forget what country I am into and what land I'm sitting into. Thank you, Australia. Thank you for being with us today. So let's get back to the guest that we have today. Hello, Sahana Ramesh. How are you doing this evening?
Thank you, Muneet. Thanks for your very kind words. I'm doing well. Thank you. Thanks very much, and I'm very excited to be part of your conversation tonight.
I this chat is going to be a very formal kind of a chat. It's not going to be like question answers or something. But yes,
Yes.
we'll go with the flow and let's see. Hope so we can get something. I think what you have been doing and what we want to present with the Chai Charan community is the same thing, that we want to empower women and we want to get the women out and see what they are good at and what else they need in their lives so that we can make their lives much better, or what else could be done for them so that yes, they can grow in the life, right? So starting with you, Zahana Ramesh, I don't want to put on straight away questions. I think you came from, a South Indian part, right? How would you like to describe your own past and coming to this country?
Okay. So I was raised in Karnataka. I'd say that I had a very normal upbringing, very supporting, loving parents, and my family has been always my solid backbone. I draw a lot of inspiration from my mother. She's always been somebody that I've looked up to, somebody that's been independent. She's got a personality of her own, and she's always taught me to be independent and stand up for myself, and always encourage me to find my voice. So that is something that I value a lot.
That's really good to know. So when you say that you came from a Karnataka background and so what made you come to this country?
So, well, I think it was recommendation from family that basically drove the decision, I guess, to move to Australia. I had just graduated from university in 2009, and then I came to Australia. I guess in search of a better life. Fell in love with this country, Melbourne, basically, and never looked back. So I've just lived here since, and Melbourne is home now.
Oh, that is really so. When we say, Melbourne is a home, I really feel that yes, learning something and coming to a different country is very, unique and very difficult for many of us. Okay, so when you say parents send you, okay, yes, in India, most of the decisions of our lives are taken by our parents. Okay, when parents say yes, you have to go, okay, we are like yes, we have to go. Okay, they're doing something better for us. But did you feel that yes, while you came here and you know the decision that your parents took was a good decision for you to be here, because you said you fell in love with this country?
Yes. So like any other migrant, to be honest, I think each of us goes through a journey when we move to a new country, which is so different from what we're used to. Like, I was raised in a very different cultural background. My family was mostly conservative, so my my journey when I first moved to Australia was not very easy. For the first, my first ever job was in Australia, so it was it was a journey, initially, to fit into the community, to actually understand and blend in with the systems here, and even with the work environments as well. It was definitely a journey for me for at least 6 to 12 months before I could say that I had found my feet. So yes, so that was my first 6 to 12 months. It was learning a lot of learning, learning to drive here, learning everything. It's just a new way of life that you're embracing, so you go through a journey.
Yes, definitely. There's a lot of journey that we come through. When we talk about your role as a counselor, okay,
Yes.
so you saw every challenge as an opportunity. That's what you said, it helped you to become as a better person. What made you actually come into a counselor's position? What were you doing earlier? Okay, of course, your background might not be the same as what you're doing right now, right? Because you have a bachelor's of engineering and a very different work that you're doing it right now. So do you think that, what made exactly your points get into a way that yes, you can be a counselor for the community?
Yeah. Um, so, so being a counselor doesn't mean that I don't do, I don't have, I'm not pursuing my interests or my a career that's relevant to my education in parallel. So I do still work as a consultant in parallel, and I did start
Nice.
a manufacturing business in 2018, and me with a couple of other people, we also run a consulting business as well, which is in sustainability, mainly operating in sustainability and telecommunications. So that is something that I do in parallel. Definitely, it's an area that these are areas that I'm very passionate about, and I continue to use elements of that in my work here as well, within the council. But just coming back to your question, um, I've there's a lot that the country has given me as well. I've enjoyed the environment. I've blended in. I'd say I've tried my best to integrate into this society as much as I can.
Yeah.
And I felt like in June 2020, when I made this decision that it was time to give back to the community, do something,
Yes.
use some of what I had learned, some of my experiences, and everything that I had taken from this country, and give it back to the community that I lived in.
Hmm.
So that was my main motivation for putting my hand up to be a counselor, I would say. And yeah.
And how do you feel after 2 years of? Hi Geet, hi Geetanjali Gava. Thank you for joining in, and thank you for tagging me people to come and join us. Thank you for doing that. So after 2 years, Sahana, how do you feel? Are you still, learning? Is it a very, learning process every day? Hello, Pallavi ji, how are you doing? Thank you. So do you think this is really good way of, 2 years of good journey and 2 years of embracing journey towards being a counselor and being into the community?
Oh, absolutely right. It's very, very rewarding to be a counselor. I mean, local government is like the most direct form of government that you can get involved in. So anything that you do for the community, any decisions that you make, you get direct feedback from people that you're actually representing, and that's actually a wonderful thing. And being able to represent my own community that I live in, in the decision making of the council, and working with, being a voice for the community that I live in, working with various women's groups, working with elderly groups, understanding their needs,
Mm.
bridging gaps between various communities. Those are things I think that are the most rewarding part of this role. The politics side of things gets a little bit tricky with local government, but otherwise, it's a very very rewarding place to be. Yes, and I'm absolutely enjoying it. And being a first time counselor is not. It's definitely a steep learning curve. There's a lot
Yes.
that you
Yes.
need to participate in. You need to contribute to the strategic direction of the council. You're reviewing and going through the budgets. You have oversight on various operations and key strategic documents and policies that the council is building with. So you're actually learning a lot of things as you go along. But so far, so far I've enjoyed it. Absolutely enjoyed it very much.
So, do you think that the work that you started in 2020 and you had something in mind, oh, this is what I'm going to do you
Yeah.
think that yes, it was same kind of the job that you did, or was it a really, like overwhelming experience for everything?
So a lot of it was something that I did expect. From a governance oversight, from financial oversight, from operations oversight and strategy, those kind of elements I think I did expect, but I didn't expect the complicated politics and the political dynamics. I guess that was something I probably underestimated from my point. But yeah, as I said, if you keep focus on why you are there, your purpose, the purpose for which you actually put your hand up, and why are you there in that position, what change, what impact can you make within the 4 years term. The 4 years just fly, right? And you've got no literally 2 years have just been have just gone by so quickly. And I feel like the most important thing is to stay focused on your goals, stay focused on your purpose and why you've been elected to the council, and what is it that you want to achieve, and what changes do you want to bring, right?
Mm.
And if you stay focused on that, I guess it's much easier. Like everything else in life, I think it's much easier when you stay focused on your goals and your purpose.
We do have a message from Pooja Trivedi saying, Sahana, thanks for all the wonderful work. Geet has mentioned a lot about your supportive nature towards commit. Oh, that's really good. Thank you.
That's very kind. Thank you, Pooja.
Thank you, Pooja. Okay. So, when we talk about the work in the council and everything, okay, most of the
Mm.
people who are living in the, areas nearby us, they don't know actually who is a counselor, what
Yeah.
is the counselor is going to do. Okay. So, do you want to just, tell the people around us that what exactly you do,
Yeah.
and what as a counselor you are committed to do, or what are your visions towards the improving into the community?
Yeah. So as you included as part of the introduction that you gave, so I'm a Harrison Ward councillor. The boundaries of Harrison Ward include Point Cook, Williams Landing, Hoppers Crossing, parts of Hoppers Crossing, Laverton, and Truganina. So
Yeah.
as a councillor, you participate. You're obviously you represent the municipality or the community
Yes.
that you live in the council's decision making. You contribute to their strategic direction. You work on contributing towards various key strategic plans and policies that the councils build each year, including the council plan and budget each year. And you guide the development of various local policies. You work on setting service standards, you work on setting priorities, and as
Yeah.
a counselor you also monitor the performance of the council as well, and how it operates as an
Yes.
organization. So you provide high level governance oversight.
So I think that's a lot of work that you do and becomes so overwhelming. We have a message from Saleha saying, asking what step has the council taken to curb the family violence in your council? How can women seek help? Thanks.
Yep. So that's a very tricky and sensitive topic, right? So it's western suburbs, particularly, certainly have issues with domestic violence cases, and the council itself is actively working with various organizations that that act as a first point of contact, helpline support, etc. So if you go to the council website, you see a number of support groups, specific organizations that people can reach out to in case they need assistance in these kind of cases.
Yes.
There are specific organizations that the council works with that I know of as well, that I've been part of some of their programs. I've as well, that work with these victims in the area. Now, now I would say, as a starting point, definitely that these are cases that require. I think in another conversation with Salehaji, I was trying to articulate that these cases need to be handled very sensitively. It needs
Yes.
professional help.
Mm.
I would always recommend that if people are in need of support and help, they need to reach out to the right organizations that have people that have the right skills to help and support people in need
Yes.
as their first outreach for help.
Yes, definitely. I think yes, that professional advice is very much required, and what a woman or a man is going through. I wouldn't say that the family violence is only related with the women most, but yes, of course, mostly related with women. But yes, I have even gone through families where men also have been victims of the family violence. So I would say yes, they both require knowledge actually what exactly to do or what exactly where to go or ask help for. Right, like you said, there are a number of organizations that work together. So do you think that these organizations, though they have been having different names and everything, they are actually doing the same kind of work altogether?
Not necessarily. There are some specific organizations focused on providing legal aid. There are some organizations that are focused on providing mental health support. There are
Okay.
others that provide support groups where you can engage with other people that have gone through similar experiences in a safe environment. So there's various organizations that are playing different parts in tackling some of these issues, and they do different things, I would say.
Okay. So, okay, we have another message from Neeti saying, Sahana Ramesh, you've always been very amazing and a wonderful soul. You always are ready to support the community, and you had helped active mummies a lot. And thanks for your support for making women active and making women empowered. Thank you. Yes.
Thank you, Nidhi. That's a lovely message. Thanks.
Okay, we have another message from different people saying hello. We have Sneha Chaudhary saying hello. We have Rupinder saying hi, hello. We have Seher Mahmood saying hello. Okay. Okay, we have another message from Gary Arora, who you attended a meeting at Thornbury Theatre to facilitate the controversial Indian BJP MP, Tejasvi Surya, who has a documented history of misogyny and spreading hate against religious minorities in India. What did you aim to achieve by going to this event? I think we are not handling any kind of these kinds of topics into today's message or this program. Today's program with Muneet and the Chai Charan community. I'm sorry, Garivora, you're definitely we will answer back to you for this. But for today, even this program is only about empowering women and how what the council is doing and what different organizations we have. I really apologize on that, but definitely you will get an answer for that later on, whenever we have the right time to give that answer for. And thank you for asking that question.
More than happy, Gary, to send you a message or talk to you in private, just to have a conversation on that topic, if that's something you'd like.
Thank you, Mr. Gary Arora. That would definitely be answered when or when is the right time. And definitely, Sahana ji will get back to you regarding that message, please. So let's focus on what this program is all about today. That is more about, getting the works done and knowing what a council is doing and a counselor can help us to do. So, so what exactly can people approach to you when they are in the area? Most of the women or even the men, they don't know what kind of things they should approach you when you say that you are, watching the council, you're watching the area around you or something. Are you looking for roads? Are you looking for, the parkings? Is the council responsible for any other events that would be coming up soon, please, under you?
Okay. Absolutely. I'm basically at a fundamental level act as a voice, as your voice in the council, and act as an interface between the community and the council. So um, I have, people reach out to me with a number of requests in regards to, as an example, more recently, I've had people engaging with me on community events that they want to run in the area, and helping them build a proposal, trying to understand what support is available from the council, whether it's grants, a facility, and how the council can actually support these groups in running these events in the area. So that's been something that I'm helping a number of people in the area. There's the council's remit, traditionally they actually summarize it as roads, rates, and rubbish, right? There's generally a lot of a lot of requests that we get if if certain areas in the municipality that are not maintained, there are open spaces, etc. If there's issues with that, people reach out to us. People reach out to me for many different things. Visas, as an example, right? A lot of requests come to me for visas. Unfortunately, that doesn't fall under the remit of the council, but I do find out where the people live and then point them to our local members in the area to make sure, or the federal member in the area to make sure that they can raise their request and get some feedback, and if there's anything that the local politicians can do. So yeah, so if there's anything within the community or within the area that you think needs improvement, very much open to lots of ideas.
Oh,
uh,
definitely. Definitely.
Lots of
There is a lot. The main,
ideas.
I think one main that I would like to point, okay, because you're
Yes,
working with environmental sustainability and everything, is the
yes,
car parking on the nature strip. For the
yes.
Thane region, yes.
Mhm.
I see a lot of people parking their cars on the, nature strip, ruining
Yes,
the grass and the environment. And I
yes,
literally had an encounter with two women who were parking regularly on the nature strip, and I told them, please, can you stop parking it on the nature strip, because it is ruining the grass and everything, and otherwise I have to take a picture of it and send it to the council for you people to get a fine next time. And she's
yes.
like, oh, this doesn't have a sign that there's a no parking area. I said, who gave you the, first of all, you let me know who gave you the learner or the driving license, please, if you don't know the rules for parking, because we
Yes,
really want to educate women about, not women, the society actually, about the parking rules. Schools parking, childcare parkings, people have been parking on these, grass area everywhere, which
yeah,
has really ruined a lot of grass in the nearby areas.
yeah, yes, absolutely, absolutely. Raise those requests directly to the council. I will, after this, I'll post some basic resources that the council has available that you can pass on to the group as
Yeah.
well, so that they know that these are all the resources that they have, whether it's volunteering opportunities, requests, signing up to the loop, our newsletter, etc. I'll send you some basic resources that you can share with the group so that they can use it.
Are there any voluntary kind of work where you can even give them fines for that?
Yes.
Because when you call the council, they're like, we are short of staff, or they would say, oh, we don't work after 5 o'clock. So if a car is standing after 5 o'clock, we can't do anything about it.
Okay. All right. I will pass that feedback to the council.
Yes, we have another message from Gitanjali Gawa saying, Sahana, it's lovely watching you here with Vineet. I'm so glad to see you. You are an inspiration and boosted my confidence for community support and women empowerment. Thank you, Gitanjali.
Absolutely. Thanks, Geet. She's absolutely lovely. She does a lot, by the way.
I know.
And Neeti as well. Neeti, Geet, they're all amazing, amazing women in the
Amazing.
area that contribute so much to the community. So hats off
Yeah.
to them.
We have another message from Neeti again saying, Sahana, I want to know is there is anything council is doing for the rubbish and the waste dump on a vacant land? Yes, as it is a big problem for the land owners to remove that rubbish and there are fines.
Yeah,
Yes,
absolutely, absolutely. Council takes that very seriously, Neeti, and I will take that. If there's any specific areas and instances that you've observed around your area, please do just shoot me an email or shoot and just raise a complaint directly with the council as well, so that
yes.
they're
For that
aware of the
need,
issue.
yes. For that, Neeti, even I would like to let you know that I have started with a small group which is called as an Wyndham Environment Activities Group, where you can report it to us and we can help you to actually go and clean that area if there is nothing around. So
Oh,
just
wow.
to clean away the area.
Okay. Mhm.
Okay, we have another message from Saleha Singh ji saying, how will the Wyndham Council be sustainable? What can the residents do?
Sustainability is a complex topic, right? So the council works on the sustainability aspect of things in many different ways, shapes, and forms, right? It can be everything from keeping your own surrounding environments clean to talking about more innovative, technologically focused things like electric charging infrastructure, conversion of our council fleet from their traditional machines to an electric fleet and electric machines. Also looking at we do a lot of this. There's so much that's happening from the council point of view, from sustainability and environmental focus, whether it's focusing on the coastline, and how we reinvigorate those spaces. There's many different projects that are being worked on within the council in terms of sustainability. And if Saleha ji is interested in that space, then absolutely I can go on and talk about it for hours and hours and hours on specific topics.
Yes.
But there's a lot being done within the council in that space, and we're actively uh, engaged in many different projects.
That's really good. That's really good. We have a message from Neeti again saying, yes, sure. Thanks, Sahana and Muneet, for today's information. Then we have Neha Sandeep Sharma saying, parking is a serious issue around Wyndham. We do
Yes,
agree with that. Whether it's in Hoppers Crossing parking or whether it's, any street parking or anything, like these days, because the Hoppers Crossing station is rebuilt and everything is done, but because that the parking that was free for the public to use and park their cars, and it has been closed down. It's closed down. The public is having so much of issues in that area for parking because that area is closed down. The people who need to get a train in the morning has no space to park now. Okay,
yes,
I know the government has done a lot for the Hoppers Crossing station rebuilt and everything, but
yes,
if we see, it has actually recreated a lot of stuff too, which is good in a way
yes,
that yes, but there's a whole lot of hotspot in that area now. The businesses have gone down for 40% on the other side of the area if you
yes,
look at that side. Okay, because people don't want to cross that area and go the other side now. Okay,
yes,
earlier people on the straight St. Vincent's Werribee Hospital or Werribee Hospital, people were going on the other side to have the lunch and everything. Now they've stopped doing it because it's a
yes,
crossing and they have to cross all the way up down. Okay, and then the free parking that was there has been closed on. People have nowhere to park. It is such an issue. I think it's a lot of issues that's been getting aroused in these areas these days.
yes. I mean, I understand that there's a lot of demand, especially in that train station for parking. And it's
Yes.
always been an issue. It was the first place that I moved to in 2009. So in 2009, you had similar problems. I can imagine that it's actually much more, it's much busier at this point in time. But I've noted that down, Muneet, and we'll chat about that offline.
Definitely, definitely. Like we are talking about this, parking and everything.
Yes,
I think
yes,
Mr. Preet Singh, who's been working for, the Tarnet area, has been
yes,
actually requesting the Tarnet parking to be increased and the government has been promising everything, but I don't think so. They've been doing it, and I think every day Mr. Preet Singh is doing something to get that parking area, to get the promises fulfilled. He's working so hard for it, but there are no
yeah,
parking areas that are solved.
yeah. So in Tani, okay, so I'll touch base with Preet as well just to see what's happening there. Yep.
Yes. Then we have Neha Sandeep Sharma saying, especially when it is a school times or a Muslim prayers time, traffic goes bad. Yes,
Yes, I understand that. Yes, I've faced that many
definitely.
times myself. Yes, yes, yes,
Yes. I think when she says that the Muslim prayer times, yes, if you see a Wharton Street Road, the Wharton Road that has a new mosque that has come up,
yes,
there is always parking issue in that area. We are definitely going to talk more about this parking issue definitely
yes,
later.
yes,
Okay.
absolutely. We will take that offline and we'll have that
Yes,
conversation. Yeah, yeah.
definitely, definitely. Whatever we can do to help the
Yes,
community,
oh,
yes, we will.
absolutely. I'm right here. I'm here to serve. So and we'll work together and see how we can resolve some of these issues. Yeah.
Yes. Coming back to Saleha Singh's question, like, what should the residents actually do, in that
So,
space? What is
s-
actually expected out of the residents?
simple things, right? Keep your environment, the environment around you clean. Don't dump rubbish anywhere outside, right? And split. Make sure that your waste separation is correct. All these simple things can make a big difference to how the city looks and feels. We've
Yeah,
got areas where we've got lots of, and report, for example, report issues when you see them in your area. Absolutely. And to your younger generations as well, pass on the message to make sure that they have that information that they need as well. Just doing simple things like this will make such a big difference. If each person takes on the responsibility, does their small part, that itself is actually a significant contribution
yes,
to making the city a much more livable, much more healthier, safer city, I'd say.
yes,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah.
Definitely, definitely, we'll be working all together with
And
this. And when it comes to, dumping of the on the vacant land or something, and I think residents should stop doing that. Though it is somebody's else land, they should have that thing in their mind that yes, it is somebody's else land, and they
yeah.
have to pay a lot to get that land cleaned off.
Oh,
Yes,
absolutely. And if the council works actively to monitor this, and and for people that are illegally dumping, there are fines that are enforced on them. There are other means that the council deals with it as well. So, yeah, absolutely.
definitely.
If
When
you
you
keep the
But
fines,
Sana, when you don't have any proofs, okay, when you don't know
yes,
who's actually
yes,
dumping
that's
it, whom are you gonna give the fines to? So
yes,
that's a very, so maybe the another question then we can come to talk about is like security cameras around it.
yes, yes, yeah, yeah, yes. I mean, there's plenty of cameras around the area that are tracking various,
Yes,
but you're right, that's a complex issue. Yes, yeah.
yes. Yeah. So, thank you for, saying so many positive things, and thank you for the, guidance. Sometimes we are ignored. We ignore things. We are like, oh, it's okay to do this. It's okay. I think that's the biggest mistake that the residents are doing in there. So that's what we need to work on it, definitely. Then we have Neeti again saying, I have a project in mind in relation to rubbish dumping. Happy to discuss with you, Sahana. That's really good, Neeti.
Yes, Absolutely. Niti has lots of great ideas. So absolutely, we absolutely want to discuss this with her.
Yes, definitely, please. And we would love to be a part of that,
Yes,
Neeti, that team,
yes,
please.
yes.
Yes. And during the end of the session, okay, what would be your message to the community around you?
If it is a message, focused, I know that you work with a lot of women's groups in the area and women in the area,
Yeah.
especially, some that are victims of certain situations,
Yeah.
etc. But what I'd like to say a couple of things. One just focused on that. Ideally, saying that confidence, empowerment, and all of these things. That's something that comes from within, right? And nobody can take it away from you, and only you can take it away from yourself. So
Yes.
therefore, you can give it back to yourself. So
Mhm.
I think that's something that all of the women, all women should remember that. So that's something I wanted to say. And if you want to, another thing for people that want to get involved within the community and bring positive change in the community, I absolutely encourage you guys to get involved in your local community groups. Find something that you're passionate about and start. That's really really important.
Yes.
And being actively involved in the community it's very rewarding, and absolutely I would encourage people to get involved and do something.
Yeah, sure. That would be really good. Neha has sent another message saying, great session. Would love to see more of this type chats. Thanks, Sahana and Mani. Thank you. Thank you for having us around. Mm, Before we leave, okay, and before we say goodbye to everybody, what has been your, the most memorable moment that you have done working with as a counselor? Okay, the most it could be humorous way or it could be a learning way, whatever you want to say.
Mhm. Oh, okay. So you put me on the spot there. Now I gotta, there's been such amazing experiences that I've had. I would, I don't know. There's way too many of them, but I can highlight a couple of them. Absolutely, working with the local women's support groups. Such amazing. We have amazing women we have within the community that do such amazing things.
Yes.
I guess that is, and just seeing women empower women is something that I have enjoyed the most. So I would say that is one of my most memorable experiences that I've had so far.
Yes, that's nice to know. Okay. Like, same. I would like women to help women to grow. Okay. Don't pull them down. Just let them grow. That's a really nice message from your end, Sahana. That's really nice. So, thank you for everybody for joining us today with Sahana. We are definitely getting back with something with business related with Sahana, maybe some other day. We
Yes.
want community to do and grow with something on the business side, and definitely we will put we'll might get Sahana back someday related with businesses in the Wyndham side areas to
Yes.
grow and see what we can do extra for the business groups. So that would be awaiting till then, and we'll get back Sahana for that another topic. Thank you, everybody, and thank you for being with us. Thank you, everyone, for sending such nice messages for Sahana. And thank you for acknowledging her work around the community. That is really appreciated, and that is what keeps us motivated doing around. Thanks a lot, and have a good night.